Whilst it doesn't matter what the British media says, it's quite irrelevant to India. But it shows that you are divorced from the facts and divorced from what the people are thinking. And if you don't, if you're not bothered about what the people are thinking, then you shouldn't talk about democracy.
I certainly am bothered what the people are thinking, and of course one's concerned to try and establish the basis on which they might or might not hold particular judgments. And that's why I'd like to ask you about the 20 months of your special powers. There were, I won't need to remind you, I think some 8 million people who were sterilised. More than 250.
This is not, I'm sorry, this is not any, this figure has not been borne out by anybody in any commission.
There is evidence to suppose that very large numbers of people were sterilised.
But
it's been, well, it's been alleged that there was widespread compulsion. If there was compulsion at all, for the purposes of argument, what would be your reaction to compulsory sterilisation?
I have expressed myself in government statements as well as privately that I'm not for compulsion.
Records from the time, from the Chief Secretary of the Government of Uttar Pradesh. Government attach highest importance to achievement of family planning targets. Failure to achieve monthly target will result in stoppage of salary, suspension and severest penalties. Other states, all eligible cases for sterilisation in my office and department have been sterilised. Persons who have refused to get themselves sterilised have not been paid their salaries. The evidence surely, Mrs. Gandhi, that a combination of intimidation, coercion, economic sanction, not giving people licences, not giving people rights to free education and health and so on, were used by officials throughout India to force people, in effect, to have sterilisation.
Yes, they were.
Those are major, wide-scale excesses then, aren't they?
No, I don't think so. And furthermore, now people realize that if our population goes up at the rate at which is going, their children won't be alive. They won't have enough food or education or any of those rights.
Do you accept no responsibility at all?
I have accepted all responsibility because I happen to be head of the government.
But you believe there was nothing...
No, you see, you cannot be categorical about these things. Certainly mistakes, when you take up any major program, mistakes will take place, but there was a very large force working against us, which was determined to use anything it could against us, and I think that they played a very large part in creating these so-called excesses.
A lot of them seemed to be in prison. You had tens of thousands in prison. There were endless more forces against you, trying to destroy you, Mrs. Gandhi.
The most of the people in prison were smugglers, hoarders, black market